Sanam, good evening. I'm here at the Millis Ashram outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And I've been drawing a blank today about what should we discuss as I come to my Dharma talk. And I realized that because I'm in this Sangat here visiting, I can reflect a little bit on what it means to live in Sangat. Yogi Bhajan called marriage the highest yoga, Grishth Ashram. And I would say that in my 12 years of experience living in Sangat, that it's a pretty close to that highest yoga, because it challenges the ego, it challenges your capacity to forgive yourself and to forgive others. And it challenges you to overlook. And this is one of the things that Yogi Bhajan actually said helped him renew his commitment to Sikh Dharma. He grew up as a Sikh, of course. But he said that the prayer of Guru Gobind Singh, which includes the line, to see the faults of others and yet to overlook them or unsee them, is actually the Gurbani. That notion is what led him to renew his commitment to sharing Sikh Dharma when he came here to the West. And living in Sangat really challenges all of us to unsee. And even more than that, to train our eyes to see the positive. Train our eyes to look for the best. And it's not that we don't see what's happening. It's that we see it in context. And not just in context of the other person or the group dynamics, but in the context of our own self-reflection. Because the harder we are on the people in our community, the people surrounding us, the people in Sangat, sacred circle, it's a reflection of how hard we are on ourselves. And this is just the bottom line experience I've had that I can share. Is that when I'm really upset with community, I'm really struggling, I'm really rubbing up against what's happening or not happening, the shoulds and the should nots, it's really an internal exercise of what am I not expressing? What should I be doing that I'm being lazy about or unwilling to make right effort? Or am I just simply being hard on myself, right? The older we get, the more I find that shoulds are just, frankly, bullshit. And, most of us are doing the best we can. And so Sangat, the reflection of Sangat and spiritual community, is really a reflection of our own self-forgiveness, our own practice of self-reflection, our own inner shadow. And so Yogi Bhajan really encouraged people to try to live in Sangat because it is that rubbing up against that mirror of the other person. That's why marriage is so, what he called the highest yoga, is so challenging. Because you can't remain static. Community, marriage, relationship is a dynamic. It's a give and take. And you cannot remain the same and stay in that dynamic of mutuality and relationship and community. So, and communities within themselves also have to renew. They also have to self-reflect as a group, not just as individuals. And so when Guru Gobind Singh made the Khalsa, created the Khalsa, he created the notion of group consciousness. He created the psyche of community, of resiliency, of unquenchable fire and thirst for that sword, for the capacity to be absolutely stainless. And it's that community psyche of how do we become better? How do we elevate each other? How do we challenge ourselves to do the impossible? Because you can do so much more in group than you can on your own. And so here I am in the Milas ashram where they've beautifully come together to renew that group consciousness, renew that psyche to serve and to be resilient in the face of so much change in our culture and so many needs being presented to themselves. And so I look forward to going home to my own Sangat and renewing that conversation in group consciousness and in my own self-forgiveness and self-reflection. I hope these thoughts encourage you to look at your spiritual circles in a new way and come together in group consciousness. Wherever there are 5 gathered, there the Guru is, and in the psyche of Jesus Christ, wherever 2 are gathered, there I am with you also. So we have these great souls ready to come and serve us if we just reach out and ask and create that sacred circle together. Have a great weekend. Sat Nam.